Garrett Wilson is one of the most dangerous wide receivers in college football this year. The former 5-star recruit is a key member of a dangerous wide receiver tandem with Chris Olave and could be a future top 10 pick. But who is Garrett Wilson? In the Who Is series, we go through the backstories of up-and-coming collegiate and pro athletes. If there's a player you want to see in future episodes, make sure to let me know in the comment section below. This video was requested by The Block O. Garrett Wilson was born in Chicago, but lived in Dublin, Ohio, a suburb of Columbus, from age 6 to 12 before his family moved to the Austin, Texas area. Garrett remembers watching Terrell Pryor and Braxton Miller at Ohio State, but when they didn't recruit his older brother out of Dublin, he stopped being a fan of the Buckeyes. He couldn't root for Ohio State if his brother wasn't playing for them. From a young age, Garrett showed he had the potential to be a great athlete. His father, Kenny, played basketball at Davidson, where he would score 1,573 career points, which ranks 7th all-time for the school. Wilson started playing basketball when he was 5 years old in a church league and believes hoops helped him develop a skill set that turned him into a great football player. In 6th grade, Wilson was able to dunk over the goalpost, and he just impressed all over the field. Hank Carter, Wilson's former high school coach at Lake Travis, told Letterman Rowe, "I saw him play 7-on-7 in spring of his 6th grade year, and he scored a touchdown and dunked the ball over the goalpost. Not used to seeing a 6th grader do that, and watching him play middle school sports was like watching a man among boys. Watching him how he goes about competing every season and week to week. Wilson would be given the name Plastic Man for the way he could elevate his body." Wilson's future basketball coach at Lake Travis told 11 Warriors, "He just had a different gear. Let's put it that way. He had a different gear where he could get by some people. He also had a really good feel for just angles and cutting. Not only that, the guy was a ball hawk. He won a lot of jump balls in 6th and 7th grade, all the way up." Along with football, Wilson also loved playing basketball, even winning the 12U National Championship as a kid. He was a top-level athlete in both sports, even mentioning his goal in middle school when he got to high school was to bring a basketball state title to Lake Travis at a basketball camp. If you couldn't already guess, Garrett Wilson attended Lake Travis High School in Austin. He would go on to be a 3-sport star during his time at Lake Travis in basketball, football, and track. Clint Bailey, his coach, told 11 Warrior, "We had a pretty good determination that he was going to be on the varsity basketball team, but kind of what set him apart was it didn't matter if we were doing a shooting drill, a free throw drill, a defensive drill, or anything else, Garrett did not lose. It didn't matter if it was the worst drill of all drills, he wasn't going to lose." Wilson was trusted to take the last shot that year against the top-seeded team in the district after forcing the turnover. He hit the shot, leading his team to the win. They were able to trust him because of the way he practiced and played. As a sophomore on the football team, Wilson had 53 receptions for 699 yards and 12 touchdowns, resulting in him being named the district newcomer of the year. As a junior, Wilson had 98 receptions for 1,774 yards and 26 touchdowns, but accounted for 32 total touchdowns. He was named the 2017-2018 Central Texas High School Athlete of the Year by the Statesman and Class 6A second team All-State. Despite missing time due to an injury as a senior, Wilson still put up gaudy numbers with 1,151 receiving yards and 19 touchdowns. He would also go on to be named the All-American Bowl Man of the Year for his excellence in community service, education, and athletic distinctions. After the football season, he would join the basketball team, always arriving on the court with minimal rust. Beatty recalls multiple games where Wilson would score 35 or 40 points with countless dunks. As a result, he would earn first-team All-Central Texas honors, averaging 21 points per game. He played every basketball game he could until leaving early for college to play football. Coming out of high school, according to 24/7 Sports Composite, Garrett Wilson was a 5-star recruit who was the 2nd-best wide receiver, 3rd-best player in Texas, and 20th best player nationally, and 424th best recruit all time. He received over 33 different Division I offers from the likes of Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State, Oklahoma, and Texas. Not only was Wilson being recruited for football, but he was also being recruited as a basketball player. Omar Lowry, an assistant for Butler, had come to take a look at DJ Thorpe at Lake Travis, the son of NBA All-Star Otis Thorpe, but Wilson had also caught his eye as well. He thought he may have stumbled across a diamond in the rough, not realizing Wilson was a top-rated football recruit. As Wilson dunked over 2 people, Beatty, Wilson's basketball coach, informed Lowry how good Wilson was. Lowry knew it was going to be an uphill battle to get Wilson to change his mind, but thought it was worth a try. He pitched Wilson on the idea he could play basketball at Butler and then transfer to a football school his last year of eligibility. He knew pitching Wilson to be a 2-sport athlete for an FCS football program would not work. But could you imagine the highlight reel if he was an FCS football player? Yet he hoped he could convince the star 3-sport athlete. Wilson would talk to a few other recruits and decide to just stick with football. Lowry was disappointed but told Garrett it was a wise decision. It was a hard decision, as he explained to 11 Warrior. Basketball, to this day, is my favorite sport. The size just didn't bless me. If it was up to me, I'd probably be playing basketball. But being 6 foot, I decided to make the decision to play football and be a receiver. Tennessee's basketball coach, Rick Barnes, also offered Wilson, knowing the family from back when he recruited Garrett's father to Davidson. Although he chose to play football, he believes he owes everything to basketball. When it came to his football recruitment, it came down to Ohio State and Texas. Wilson had lived in the Austin area since he was 12, but chose to go to Ohio State instead. When asked why he chose the Buckeyes over the Longhorns, he gave a pretty blunt answer. They were close, as in Texas. I'm not going to lie. The official visit made me think about them a little more. In the end, I've watched a lot of people go to Texas with a ton of ability and maybe not achieve what I thought they could. I didn't want to be one of those guys. Coming out of high school, according to Gabe Brooks of 24/7 Sports, Wilson was a future 2nd to 3rd round draft pick with a comparison to Tylan Wallace. Brooks writes, not the biggest receiver, but plays bigger than listed size, thanks to good athleticism and above average bulk relative to frame. Strong-handed wide receiver who plucks the ball consistently. Dangerous in the vertical game. Stretches the field with initial burst and above average downfield speed. Very good route runner. Can line up in multiple spots. High-level performer in games, elite camps, and school 7-on-7 competition. Provides both chain-moving possession consistency and big play ability. Excellent body control and adjustment ability. Makes routine plays and highlight reel grabs. Needs to add weight and strength to combat larger defenders at the next level. Polished to the point that it could ultimately limit ceiling. He'll be an early college contributor and could be a second-day NFL draft selection. Garrett Wilson would decide to enroll early at Ohio State, and he would become an instant impact player for the Buckeyes. As a freshman, Wilson played in all 14 of Ohio State's games, with his best game of the season coming against Michigan, where he had 3 receptions for 118 yards and 1 touchdown. He finished that year 4th on the team in both yards and catches, with 30 receptions for 432 yards and 5 touchdowns. Going into the 2020 season, Wilson would move from being an outside receiver to playing the slot position, and during the shortened season, he still managed to put up big numbers, becoming the 2nd Ohio State player ever to record 4 straight 100-yard receiving games. His best game of the season came against Indiana when he had 7 receptions for 169 yards and 2 touchdowns in a 42-35 win over the number 9 Hoosiers. He finished the year with 43 receptions for 723 yards and 6 touchdowns in a shortened season. As a result, he was named first team All-Big Ten and second team preseason All-American going into his junior year. In 2021, he moved back to the outside, having 31 receptions for 546 yards and 6 touchdowns so far this season through 6 games. According to Mel Kiper's Big Board, he is the 9th best player in the 2022 NFL Draft and 2nd best wide receiver behind Penn State's Jahan Dotson. Kiper writes on September 30th, he's dynamic with the ball in his hand and can run away from defenders after the catch. This versatility will help at the next level too. Wilson will be a key player for Ohio State if they hope to make a championship run this season, and he will bring a great skill set to whatever team drafts him this spring. But what do you think? Where will Garrett Wilson be taken in the 2022 NFL Draft? Let me know in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, check out my other videos right here. Don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and as always, remember to embrace the grind.